Like I was saying earlier in the show, I follow a few Cowboy accounts because I've seen probably the most thing that I'm famous for on all social media platforms in the sports broadcasting realm is my criticism of the Dallas Cowboys and their quarterback, Dak Prescott. So, of course, I've said before, I've befriended some of them. So there's another Cowboys account that I follow. We chat back and forth. I go on his show. I defend my statements. Nothing is said out of pure hate. I don't hate any team enough to exhort energy to my day to actively root against them. It just for me doesn't work that way. Unless, of course, you're the Los Angeles Lakers or I can't think of other things. I really don't like the Seattle Seahawks, but I'll be honest about them as well. I don't really hate them as much anymore. Post Russell Wilson, Legion of Boom days. I think the only team that I hate with a burning passion is probably the Los Angeles Lakers. That's the fandom in me, but I digress there. He said to me, be honest with me. Do you really think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC East? Because he's a Cowboys fan. He covers the Cowboys. He's got a lot of followers. He does a good job covering the Cowboys. No shade towards him. But he said outside of week 3, has Philly looked better in any particular week? And I said in terms of quality opponents, trust, quarterback, and the team as a whole, I would take Philly over Dallas, not by a ton, but by an okay margin. This was last week. Philly has started to find their stride offensively in their last 2 games, and I also cited 17-7. Hurts put the team on his back and says, yeah, I'm going to lead this team to a win over the Commanders in week 4. It was dicey. It got really just prickly over there, and the Philadelphia Eagles came out on top against the Commanders. And my defense of the Eagles has been solely, do people seriously not understand how much coaching matters in the NFL? Jalen Hurts, forget about the fact that their defense isn't as good this year because JG flew his way all the way down in Arizona for the Super Bowl and then stayed there with the Arizona Cardinals, and so their defense isn't as good anymore. But they lost Shane Steichen, who we've seen to this point is a really good head coach. I mean, he's a clever play caller for Gardner Minshew, their backup quarterback. I mean, he's getting it done with Zach Moss. Don't even get me started on why they gave JT that extension with the way Zach Moss has been playing. Shane Steichen obviously was a huge focal point for why Philly went to the Super Bowl last year and had a very successful season. Don't underestimate the power of coaching. The Philadelphia Eagles, and I want to stake my claim on this in week 5. I've pretty much already done it, but I haven't done it publicly. The Philadelphia Eagles are the team to beat in the NFC. I know the San Francisco 49ers are awesome, and the San Francisco 49ers have a bunch of shiny, cool toys. CMC, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. Brock Purdy is slinging it, and Kyle Shanahan is scheming it up. When it comes to smash mouth football, when it comes to winning ugly, there's no team in the league that does it better than the Philadelphia Eagles. The 49ers might blow out teams best in the NFL, but the playoffs are not going to be blowouts. The playoffs are not going to be track meets. It's going to be cold, and it is going to be slowing down the game, isolating players, and really schematically winning the game in between the numbers. That's where the term game of inches comes from. In January, in December, and in the first week of February when the Super Bowl takes place. And the Eagles yesterday against the Rams, I know 23-14. On the paper, it just doesn't look great. They covered. They went across the country and beat the Los Angeles Rams, who returned Cooper Kupp and played well, I might add. The Los Angeles Rams are going to vie for a playoff spot in the NFC. The Los Angeles Rams are a good football team. Sean McVay has got them rolling. Cooper Kupp is back. Puka Nacua is the rookie of the year so far, running away with it. Matthew Stafford looks totally fine. And the offensive line is better than last year. But the Philadelphia Eagles, this game, 23-14, was not close. And Jalen Hurts has continuously been able to put the team on his back. And he is not the most talented quarterback. He's not the biggest. He's not the strongest. He doesn't have the best arm. He's not the most mobile. He's not the more mobile than Kyler Murray. He's not more mobile than, I would argue, quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson. Jalen Hurts just wins games. He's a real gamer. And they have the relationship on the sideline to fight with each other publicly and then bring it in at the end of the game after a win. That is what winning football is. And if you're asking me between the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles, the clear two top teams in the NFC, both undefeated right now, who I would take? The 76ers. The San Francisco 49ers defense is not that much better than the Philadelphia Eagles defense. The Philadelphia Eagles offense is not that much better than the San Francisco 49ers offense, and vice versa. Kyle Shanahan, Nick Sirianni, probably clear advantage Kyle Shanahan there. But like I said in the beginning of the show, what matters is who is slinging the football. And Jalen Hurts or Brock Purdy, who am I going to take? The Philadelphia Eagles have a real pass rush too. Jalen Hurts has the ability to run more than Brock Purdy. I like his arm better. This is going to come down to the quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts has been in a lot of big games in his career. Super Bowls, NFC Conference Championship games. He's been to the National Championship. He's won multiple SEC titles. He's constantly been underlooked, similar to Brock Purdy in that way. But the Philadelphia Eagles have not even hit their stride offensively. They are absolutely getting there. They are stacked on offense. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert is a top 5 tight end in the league. DeAndre Swift is finding his stride. They have the best offensive line in football, an elite pass rush, good linebackers. Still, you got guys like Darius Slay back there locking it down. Guys, this Philadelphia Eagles team is going to be scary in the playoffs. And when you have to come to the Link to play the Eagles in that hostile environment, I'm taking the Eagles. This is going to come down to, in January, the NFC Conference Championship game, Eagles and the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers. It's going to come down to those two teams. And who do I trust more? Who do I trust more when the lights are brightest? Hoping everyone stays healthy this time around. Jalen Hurts or Brock Purdy? No contest. I'm taking Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles every single time, and they are continuously getting better every week. They haven't even found that offensive stride yet, and when they start to hit their stride in Week 13, Week 14, they're going to be the scariest team in the NFL, and they are going to beat the 49ers in the playoffs this year, and they're going to go to back-to-back Super Bowls, and they are going to be the scariest team in the NFC. Don't overlook the power of coaching. They're still trying to scramble and get it all together after losing Shane Steichen or guys like Jonathan Gannon. It's going to come together, and it slowly has. You've seen it with the Niners. They have that continuity there. They didn't lose any big-time coordinators. Kyle Shanahan is there. Steve Wilks steps in for DeMeco Ryans, and their defense has taken a little bit of a step back. Not a huge one, but a little bit. Their red zone defense, I don't think, just due to the eye test, not as great as it was before. The Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFC. They could easily be the best team in the NFL by the end of the season. And I think we are all clearly overlooking just how good the Philadelphia Eagles are.